All right, presidents. Dr. Napolis.
Good evening, Dr. Head, Dr. Smith, members of the board. It's an honor for me to present on behalf of the college presidents. I will present on something that is not only fun, but also I think beneficial. And so we met our colleague from the University of Texas at Austin. And that is a wonderful four-year university, just like so many, like University of Houston, University of Downtown, Texas Southern. And we are a community college that prepare people for the workforce and general education transfer. So we're very committed to making sure that people have the experience of not only getting their education, but feeling like they're part of the community. So several weeks ago, we started the spring semester and had the opportunity to welcome back so many of our students, as well as welcome so many more new students. And this is our strategic priorities, our strategic goals, and we have the opportunity to focus on two things with the start of the semester. One is culture, making sure that our employees can show that we care about our students and collaborate with one another to help them lead to student success, making sure that they know that we're committed to quality education by providing some wonderful instruction in the classroom, support through the hallways, but also some academic support as well. So I'll talk about some of the activities that occurred during Welcome Week and start off with Lone Star College Sci Fair. As you can see, signage is very important. The students were welcome back with that wonderful sign on the left, as well as an opportunity to make sure that they had food. So over 300 students had a chance to get free breakfast, a Chick-fil-A meal in the morning. So they started off their morning right with Chick-fil-A and made sure that their stomachs were not grumbling, and then they can move on to go to their classes, as well as you can see in the bottom picture, see what activities and what services are available for students. As you can see, Kingwood is better than ever, and this was an opportunity to celebrate the reopening of the campus, and so many students were excited. We know that many of the students went online because of Hurricane Harvey, and now they know that not only do they have the wonderful services, they have at least 9 new buildings that have some really fun things in them. As you can see to the right, it's making sure that our students have the information they need, engaging them. This picture actually includes our students talking to career services so they can figure out what they want to do when they grow up, but also what they need to focus on so they can be successful in the classroom and successful in life.
Hey guys, it's Megan here. I'm here with Lone Star College Montgomery, and we're having Welcome Week today, trying to get back in the grooves of school and everything. We have some prizes that you can win and free pizza. The event is from 11 to 1 and Building A.
So this is an example of a happy student, and we're very excited about the opportunity to engage our students and give them a chance to show off what they love about Lone Star College and the respective colleges. And so as you can see, this was a short clip, and we use these in our social media like Facebook, like Twitter, and Instagram, and all the other cool things that people use that I don't understand. And so it's more than just the food. It's also the opportunity to let them know that this is a fun place and a place that cares about them. So this is a picture of Lone Star College North Harris. We had our faculty senate president, our PSSA president, and what we wanted to do was work with some of our colleagues who were not teaching or providing direct support to students at that time and showcase this, and we placed it in our social media, making sure that people knew that we were here for them. The services and programs were not just focused at the main locations. We had programs during the day, we had programs during the evenings, we had programs at all our centers. The bottom left picture actually was the most popular program as far as number of hits on social media. It had 1,800. It was an opportunity for students to stop by and get some hot cocoa. You know, hot cocoa good for tonight as well, since the temperature dropped about 30 degrees. But then as you can see to the right of that picture, we had opportunities for students to understand the co-curricular and extracurricular activities. So they had a chance to try out for sports like basketball and soccer, and also see the other student leaders and the involvement there. And then at Lone Star College Tomball, the events that occurred focused on students, like so many of our activities. As you can see from the top left, our department over there wanted to make sure that students understood some of the leadership opportunities available to them, some fun pictures on the right. And Dr. Leanne Nutt actually took the Welcome Week as an opportunity to swear in her new student government officers. So it's very exciting, very engaging for our students. And then at University Park, you can see our students to the right walking in the hallways, and then it's not just our employees, it's our partners, and so some of those people in the picture are members of communities and schools. So we definitely want to make sure that we have a comprehensive approach to engaging students so they know that we're here for them. And it's not only Welcome Week and Welcome Back, it's throughout the entire semester. And so you've heard Dr. Head and Dr. Smith and Jesse talk about Community College Day. We're celebrating Black History Month. What we wanted to do was make a great first impression. And so this was a chance for us to show the students that you're here for a quality education, but we'll also provide you a great opportunity for some experiences to make you successful and to have fun. I had a chance to talk to a business class on Monday, and I asked them some questions, and so I was ready for any of the questions that they had, and I said, okay, I have time for one more question, and somebody said, I don't have a question, but I have a statement. And so I thought, oh, I'm ready for this. He was a person that just came back from school. He was one of our older students, and he said, thank you so much during the start of the semester. I really appreciate people being out, giving directions, and helping me find my classrooms. There were some people that helped walk me to my class. And so that's one of many stories that occur at all of our locations at Lone Star College. And in closing, I want to read this. Lone Star College employees provide a welcoming, supportive, and engaging environment for all students. Our students are welcomed back with friendly faces, fun activities, and support structures that ensure their continued engagement and success. And as we heard from the PSSA presidents, you'll hear from the Faculty Senate President from Lone Star College North Harris, it truly does take a community and opportunities. And I also want to thank our colleagues at the system office who've made time to volunteer and showcase the great things that occur at Lone Star College. Questions, comments?
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
So, Devithia, you want to come up? This is another North Harris person. This is the Faculty Senate President, who represents other Faculty Senate Presidents. So.
Those are my people. All right. Well, I was contemplating what I should talk about tonight, and I wanted to just give you some insight into what the Honors College does and what a great and wonderful program that we have with that. We do a lot for students that come in that don't have a lot of the skill sets that they need to be successful, but we also have a program, and that's the Honors College, that really helps those students who are high performing to really develop and to reach their highest potential. So we'll talk about that, I think.
You want to tell them what you do, just so that they know your background? You want to tell the board what you do?
Okay, well, I'm a history professor I teach honors history and other histories. I'm also the faculty senate president, and I'm the chair of the social sciences department.
How long have you been working here?
I've been working here, this is my 6th year. I've been in education, higher ed, for about 14 years. And before that, I educated my kids at home. I was a homeschool parent. And North Harris is really special to me because my mother graduated from North Harris College with associate's degree in nursing in 1983, and my daughter graduated from North Harris College with an associate of science degree, and she went on to TSU to get a bachelor's degree in chemistry, and then she went across the street to U of H and she earned a doctorate degree in pharmacology, and right now she's teaching at UTMB in Galveston. So much of what she learned, she didn't learn at home with me because I didn't have a science lab. And her first science lab was at North Harris College. So the college means a lot to me.
For the board, that was not a setup question for you. I didn't know that about you. So I knew your background a little bit, but not like that. So.
Well, I thought I'd
Good for you.
something. All right, so we know that the Honors College is a project-based program, that the classes, not all of the classes, but many of the classes, including history, government, and others, are project-based. And I just want to kind of explain so that we can know exactly what those students are, how successful they are, and how talented they are when they go through this program. So, of course, the courses are focused on developing their analytical and critical thinking skills, but at the same time that they're focused on creating a research project for the class, they're also expected to master the content material in that class, which makes it very, very challenging for those students, but they always rise up to that challenge. Now, when we look at the research opportunities that our students have in Honors College, there are several ways that they could accomplish that. First of all, in the actual courses that are research project-based courses, but also those students can work one-on-one with an instructor in an independent study. In addition, our students have an opportunity every year. This spring, they're wrapping up their preparation to go to New York City, and there they will participate in the Model UN Nations activities. And so our students go there, and before they go, they engage in almost 2 semesters of preparation in which they do a lot of research, researching the conditions in the country that they've been assigned to, and they prepare a lot of focus papers, and they go and they use their research skills and the presentation skills that they've learned as a consequence of being a part of the Honors College to present alongside students from major colleges and universities from around the world and from around the United States as well. When we look at when we say project-based, it's really several components. So our students come in, they learn the content material, they select a topic, they learn how to develop research questions, and then based on the discipline, whether it's STEM or whether it's the liberal arts, they'll either conduct studies, do some type of research in the lab, or their research will be focused on using resources in the library, primary and secondary resources. The last 2 components of this process involve them putting together and presenting a presentation and also an essay, which can consist of about somewhere between 10 to 20 pages. This process of creating a project, we talk about a village being needed to raise a child. Well, it's literally a village that helps to support these students as they produce their projects. And I have to really commend all of the honors directors across the system because they work really, really hard. They don't just schedule classes and advise these students, but they provide forums, workshops to help these students develop the skills that they need to be successful, not only in their honors classes, but when they leave our campus and they go to their 4-year institutions. And when we look at these students, we know that these students are high performing and that they have a lot of potential, but in essence, those students haven't really been pushed to reach their highest potential, and that is exactly what the Honors College does through the support that they have with the Honors College directors, the faculty who not only teach the topics and sometimes work with students in independent studies, but also mentor those students. And we also have a fantastic system of peer mentoring, where students who come in during their first year as honor students will be mentored by students who came in the previous year. And so they create a lot of bonds, and they do a lot of student-to-student teaching, which we've learned in research is very, very successful. The real high point of the semester for these students happens on pretty much the last day of the semester, when we have our Honors College Undergraduate Research Day, which we fondly call Honors Day. And those students that have been selected as the best of the presenters from their various classes will present on that day. From that point, those students, their projects will be judged, their papers that they've written will be analyzed and reviewed, and then they have the opportunity to move on to the next level of presentations. We have a fall cycle and a spring cycle. In the fall, those students who presented at Honors Day in the spring semester from our various campuses can be selected to go to the Great Plains Honors Council in April. And so we have a series of students that are going and preparing right now for those presentations. And I'm a proud mama, so 3 of my students from my honors history class are actually going to participate in that. Then we also have those students based on their presentation skills, but also on the quality of the research papers that they produce. They'll go on to the National Collegiate Honors Council Conference, Undergraduate Research Conference in the fall. This year, it's taking place at UT Tyler. In the spring, we have a similar process. So the honors students who present on Honors Day during the fall will be selected to either go to GCIC, which is a local conference, and in the spring, they'll go to the fall conference, and those students will present their research there. Last semester, I had 4 students, and it was really a great experience. The conference was held at North Harris College, and because of the warm reception that was received from all of the colleges in the area, we've been asked to host GCIC once again. The final of the national conferences that students who participated in the Spring Honors Day activities they'll be selected to go to NCUR, the National Collegiate Undergraduate Research Conference. And again, at these national conferences, our students aren't just presenting their presentations and their research among other community college students, but there are students there from every major university in the country. And our students stand alongside them and do us well and do us proud. So when we look at the Honors College, it is again another one of those wonderful programs that the Lone Star College system has funded, has supported, has developed. And it is again an example of one of the ways that our students from our service area can come to our campuses. They can stay close to home, but they can go very far in terms of their research skills that they develop, their presentation skills that they develop, in terms of a future in which they will be able to accomplish the goals that many of them as first-generation students never thought they would be able to accomplish. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
I have a question. Oh. Do you have any idea how many students we have in Honors College throughout Lone Star? I'm just curious.
No, I don't have those numbers.
It's probably over 300 or so.
Wow. Well, the reason I brought that up, I was at Klein ISD's program last Saturday where they bring in all of the 8th grade students and their parents, and they talk about endorsements, high school endorsements. And one of the parents said the only thing she wanted to know is what her child can do in high school to get ready to go to Lone Star's Honors College. And the person running the meeting, I didn't know they knew who I was. They they said, well, a board member is here from Lone Star. He can tell you. And I said, well, I can't tell you. So I'm going to pass along your name to that
You can
parent.
do that. You can do that.
So,
I like to recruit.
and the reason I mention that is the Honors College is getting a lot of publicity out there in the community, and you all are doing a great job. Second, I'd like to mention I was invited by a student to go to Sci-Fair last spring to hear his presentation to this group of folks. And I was so overwhelmed. I stayed the whole evening. I went from class to class, and I was amazed at the level of research these students were doing. And it was research, I'm embarrassed to say, that I didn't do until I was in graduate school. And these kids are getting this at the first and second year of college, which is awesome.
It is.
And I pray that you all keep up the good work and maintain the momentum in that arena. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
DeFethi, I have 3 questions for you, okay?
Okay, I hope I have the answers.
I bet you do. First, for Model UN, how is the country assigned to the different colleges?
They send in their applications and they have a list. We send in an application and we send in a list of classes, of countries that we would like.
Oh, okay.
We don't always get them, but it's the Model UN Selection Committee makes that
Okay, I was
decision.
just curious. About how much time outside of class do the students spend, whether they're preparing for Model UN or they're preparing for Honors Day presentations? I'm sure they don't get it all done in class.
No, and I think oftentimes when people see that for the honors classes, they're usually capped at about 15. We have a couple of them that are actually running about 18. But they see that as, oh, you're teaching fewer students, so it must be less work. It's a lot of work, a lot of mentoring, a lot of one-on-one work with the students. And so it's really hard to estimate just about how much time is spent. Several hours of workshops during the forums that the honors directors provide for those students. On Fridays, after class time, students usually are hovering around our doors, especially when it gets close to the time of Honors Day, or if a student has been selected for one of those either local, regional, or national conferences, then it could be several hours.
Sure.
And one thing I want to commend all of our honors instructors. They're 100% dedicated. They'll come in early, they'll stay late, they'll do whatever it takes to help those students and to support those students so that they can present and be confident in the skills that they've developed.
Cool. And is Honors Day on the same day at all of our campuses, or do they have different days, and can trustees come watch?
You can come and watch. Just don't tell the students that you're a trustee. That might make them nervous. And it'll probably make me nervous too. It's all on the same day. They stagger the time a little bit.
Okay.
So you can probably go to a couple of sessions on a single day. But it's worth it. It's worth it just to see these students and to think that they develop a project in a single semester. It's nerve-wracking for me as an instructor and mentor, but it is the most amazing thing to see them come up with these research questions that are so profound and develop a project, build a project around that, and conduct all of the research that's necessary.
So for the rest of the board, the reason we created the Honors College, a formal structure about 6-7 years ago, and it's not a place, it's not a formal structure. It is our best governance model to me, which is we all agree on what it would look like. And Katie Caruso, or so some of you know, who's actually in Russia right now. I think she's in Russia, Mike, I'm not sure. So she works with the colleges, and it can't work unless the colleges buy into it. So what we agree on is the common set of rules and guidelines, and then it's kind of decentralized after to a point it is. But so we created it because we were spending so much time and money on what I'll call student success as a whole. So we were focused a lot on developmental studies and first generation in college, and we thought, well, we want to be a college of first choice. So we wanted it for everybody, not only those other students that maybe needed some additional assistance, but we have a lot of high achievers. We had valedictorians and salutatorians and people that rank high in their classes coming to Lone Star. So part of the capstone class is an international visit, which we fund. We fund it through auxiliary money. So that's why they want to come here. We provide them opportunities in the Model UN, so that what's happened is the Honors College, we've been taking other programs, and some other time we'll talk about, and we have them come in on the Model UN. So we send students to places where maybe they've never gone before, like New York. I don't know about you, but I didn't go to New York when I was in school. I never had that opportunity. Nobody even talked to me about that. Or we send them, I know we sent some of the classes to Italy and China, and so we've sent them to different places. But the point of all that is we want to expose our students to as many experiences as they can possibly have. And they're going to be well prepared to either go into the workforce or they transfer and go. And I'll send a note out that Dwight sent me about how many colleges our students are transferring to. You said 1,000? Is that we have over 1,000 colleges that our students are. And Eric, they do, whether they go to UT or A&M or Sam Houston or TSU, they do very, very well. And I think part of that is because of the experiences they get here, and this is a piece of it. So thank you. It's really, I'm very proud of this program. It's one of our premier programs. So
We do it better than everybody else. Don't say I said that.
great, thank you.
Okay, board members, you now have the opportunity to tell us briefly things that you have done over the last month related to education. Anyone? Yes.
One of the
Pierce,
best kept
Trustee
secrets,
Pierce.
Ernestine Pierce, Trustee Pierce, is that we were talking about all the mentoring. I am a big proponent of mentoring, and I think this is a well-kept secret that on Victory, let me get it together, early high school campus, we have a community, well, I guess a nonprofit organization called MABA. That's the Mexican American Bar Association of Houston, who comes in and they sponsor a leadership mentor program at that high school. I am the liaison for them, believe it or not. I'm not a lawyer, but I've been with them since 2003. Alton, you may be, Dr. Smith, you may be aware of them. Yeah. Wherever I go, they go. Yeah. Okay, they also give scholarships. The Hispanic Student Organization at South Texas College of Law, Houston. I have to get the name right, and names change. They are very active in this program. And what we do, we have 45 participating students who want to be at early high school, Victory, I'm getting it right. They want to be lawyers, okay? They want to be in the legal profession. Well, anyway, those young third-year law students take them under their wing. They take them to the South Texas College. And it's a great experience. So I would like to suggest, they can't go to every early college high school, but they're definitely there, and so that community output, I think, is very, very good for Lone Star.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
No, I'm good.
Pass? I'm good. Well, I have just a few things I want to highlight. On January the 11th, I had the opportunity to participate in the opening of the Westway Technology Center, and which is a beautiful, excellent place. Selpa and her people did a good job of putting on that particular program. If you haven't been to Westway, you need to take an opportunity to spend a few minutes there visiting that particular site and looking at the opportunities that that site has for our students. On January the 25th, I was invited to a conference over at UP, and there was a representative from the Texas Workforce Commission, I think that's the name of it, and they presented a check. I don't remember how much it was. It was so close to $1 million, so I rounded it off to $1 million. So they gave us $1 million check to provide training, in the workforce arena. And I want to compliment Linda had on the work, that she did, and her staff did, to make that a reality for Lone Star. The only other thing I want to mention, and I hope I don't get this teacher in trouble, but his name is Patrick Gilbert. He's out at Tomball. I didn't know who in the heck he was. He called me and asked, could I spend about an hour with him? And I know everybody when I talk to him on the phone, but I wonder who that is. But I said, yes, I'll go. So I went out there, and they have this great, I call it a TV production room. And this guy wanted to do a video on me concerning my background in the 40s and 50s for a Black History program. And we did that, and it went over quite well. And I can't wait until it's finally produced to see if I want to become a movie star in my late life. But he was interested in his children learning about the education along generational lines, and he thought stuff that I had gone through would be beneficial to the students today. The other thing I would like to mention, I had, as most of you know, that I had the opportunity to become on the board of directors as an at-large director for the American Association of Community Colleges. And I had a meeting with them on January the 25th, and we were talking pretty much about the legislative agenda we wanted to endorse and push at the federal level. And so I'll be going back to Washington, D.C. in the morning at 7 o'clock, to continue that particular effort. And I want to thank everybody in Lone Star, that have given me anything I ask for as far as support, because I don't know a lot of stuff about this stuff. So I get all of the stuff that I need to make the college look good and also to benefit the nation as a whole. And that's all I have at this point.
One point. So the money that Texas Workforce Commission gave us, which was $900,000, the check, 980 or something like that.
5,000 in some sense, yeah.
We're expecting another 800,000 or so. This is for our work at Daikin Industries, Mike, up on 249, not 249, 290, on the other side of 99. That's that huge facility out there, and Daikin is part of Goodman, but they're also expanding. So we do the training out there, and so that's a major, major piece from Texas Workforce Commission. So I think you're going to be seeing more. We work very closely with the Texas Workforce Commission on the workforce piece.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Lone Star's alive and well. Helen, do we have any citizens wishing to? Huh? I'm good at it.
Do it after. It's the second largest building in the U.S. How many people in it? 5,000. We've known each other for a long time, by the way. I didn't know you were here.
I should have emailed you ahead of time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and your son, ended up going to school here, right? And then you want to tell him what your background is before you, yeah.
Well,
Don't turn on the machine yet. This is something separate, yeah.
I am retired now. I don't know if you knew that. I spent my career with Union Pacific. Prior to my career, I was a graduate of Texas A&M, but in the community college arena, I started at a community college, not this one, but Victoria Community College. But the value of that is you get a good foundation to get started, and when you finish, your degree still says, in my case, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And so I try to spend my time now volunteering in the community and just having fun. I have an interesting bucket list. I think I'm almost halfway through visiting every county courthouse in the state of Texas. So it's just something that I started almost 2 years ago.
Okay, now your time's going to start, so go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, members of the board, Dr. Head, I'm Stuart Schrader. I am currently the vice chairman of the Tall Timbers District, Sam Houston Area Council, Boy Scouts of America. Mary had to leave. We're having our district committee meeting tonight, and so she had to go for that. But anyway, we're here tonight to present the 2018 Spirit of Scouting Award to the Lone Star College System for your support of scouting. Advancement in scouting is very important to keep scouts active and interested in the program. 21 merit badges are required to earn the rank of Eagle Scout. Merit badges also provide insight into many disciplines and careers. The Lone Star College System has made facilities and equipment available at the Lone Star College Montgomery campus for well over 15 years to the Tall Timbers District and our predecessor district, the Georgia Strait District. So for your support of scouting, I wanted to present you the 2018 Spirit of Scouting Award for your support of scouting.
Yeah, thank you.
Could someone take a picture of us real quick?
Of course.
I won't take up too much of the board's time.
Do you want to, how do you want to do this? You want to go down and, you want to?
Yeah, you two go down.
You two go down.
Or you can come up here if you want. You want
Okay.
to come up here? You want all the?
You're good? No, sir. Stuart Schrader.
Ready.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
You have someone else?
I'm Alan Hall. I'm the president of the American Federation of Teachers at Lone Star College, speaking tonight to recognize the important work of the foundation. In 2016, the AFT Executive Board approved a $15,000 endowed scholarship in the union's name, and we received excellent assistance from the foundation in setting that up. The endowment provides $1,000 per year to a student and will continue in perpetuity. We have made 2 awards so far, and we have the 2018-19 award recipient with us tonight. We're grateful for the help from Nicole Robinson Gauthier and Megan Phillip for locating Boping Liang. Boping is here tonight to read the letter that she sent to the AFT thanking us for the scholarship. What she has to say is at the center of Better Together.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Boping Liang. I am at Lone Star College and Sci-Fair. It's my honor to stand here this evening. First, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Hall's invitation. I'm honored to be one of the recipients of the American Federation of Teachers Lone Star College Scholarship. Thanks to your generous support so I can finish my college education. I'm very happy and appreciate that. I came from a small town in China, and I was born at a period that one-child policy was extremely strict, 1980s. My parents faced huge fines and harassment to provide education for my brother and me. As a daughter in such a small town, I have to overcome many obstacles to gain my education. To release my parents' burden, I have to drop out of high school when I was 17. I moved to live with my aunt who owned a small business in the Dominican Republic. I didn't have a chance to finish high school because I must work for her. However, I didn't give up. I taught myself Spanish whenever I have a chance. Also, I have never given up my college dream. Years later, after my son started his first grade, I decided to go back to school and study. Under the help of the Literacy Council of Fort Bend County, I got my diploma in 2 years. Then I became a college student in the fall 2016. This year will be my last semester in Lone Star College. I will earn my associate degree of science in May. Now, I am applying nursing school to earn my bachelor degree in nursing. In the last few years, I was working hard as a waitress to pay for my tuition fee and books. In 2018, I became a certificate nurse assistant. I have worked hard. And I have worked in a nursing home for a couple months. It was not easy to work and study at the same time for a woman that has a kid. Thanks to you, I am one step closer to that goal without worrying so much about the money. My short-term goal is to get a bachelor degree in nursing in 2 years. I hope to be an active member of the profession of nursing, join the American Nurse Association, and to become a nurse practitioner one day. By awarding me the American Federation Teacher Lone Star College endowment, you have lightened my financial burden, which allow me to focus more on the most important aspect of school, learning. Your generosity has inspired me to help others and give back to the community. I hope one day I will be able to help others achieve their goals just as you have helped me. Thank you.
That's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that with us. There was one meeting that we had this month that I forgot to mention, and Trustee Saldivar reminded me. And the person I'm getting ready to mention probably won't like the fact that I mentioned this, but we had a Greater Houston Partnership Luncheon a few days ago. And you may know or you may not know, I want you to know if you don't know, that our chancellor was selected to be a member of the board of directors of the Greater Houston Partnership, which I think is a great honor to have that position. There are huge companies that are in the Greater Houston Partnership, Exxon, Shell Oil, all of the big banks, and et cetera. And now I see why all of these industries are so interested in Lone Star, and they know about Lone Star because our people are willing to get out there and volunteer their time to assist the economy as a whole. And when those companies have stuff to give away, the first people that pop up in their mind is Lone Star. So I think that's worth a million. Let's give Steve a big hand on his recent accomplishment. He doesn't like what I'm doing. He's frowning at me, but that's just too bad.
Can I tell you one thing before we move on? So yesterday I stopped at a fast food place, and I went in, and I just said, "How are you doing?" And the young lady behind the counter said, "Well, I'm really stressed out. I'm studying for a test." I said, "So where do you go to school?" She said, "Lone Star." And so I gave her my card. And she looked at it and goes, "Is your last name," it had Stephen Head, Chancellor. She said, "So is your last name Chancellor?" I said, "No." And I said, "I am the Chancellor." And she goes, "Well, what's the Chancellor do?" She'd never heard of a Chancellor, by the way. So whenever if I need to get everything right, I just need to go by and tell somebody, give them my card. But anyway, thank you.
Yeah, but
Pass the test.
Yeah.
But I tell you, everybody at Greater Houston Partnership know your name. That's great. Thank you. Okay, I could mention a lot of other boards that he's on, but he doesn't want me to do that. Okay, at this point, I need tell that there are no other citizens wishing. Okay, thank you. Every 2 years, we have to name board committees and the members who are serving on those committees. And I'm going to announce what those committees are and who's assigned to each committee. And I hope the individuals that I have assigned agree to take these positions. If you do not, don't hesitate to let me know. And these are not in priority order necessarily, but the first committee that I have on my list is the Grievance Committee. And I'm asking Trustee Linda Good to be the chair of that committee. And the two members that I want to serve with her is Art Murillo and Ernestine Price. Yeah, Pierce. I mean, I don't know why I keep on calling you Price. Pierce. Maybe I'm thinking about the Price is Right. And are you guys willing to serve on that committee? Thank you. Okay, the second committee is the Policy Committee. And I'm going to get all these names right for sure. Miriam Saldivar has been asked to be the chair. The other two members, Ken Lloyd, he's not here, and Ernestine Pierce. Did I get it right, Miss? All right. Do you guys wish to serve on that committee? And I'll ask Ken that later. Thank you. The next committee is the Audit Committee. And I have asked Mike Sullivan to serve as the chair and David Vogt to be a member of that Audit Committee and Ken Lloyd. In addition to and that's one committee. Yeah, and are you willing to serve on that committee? Okay, a second function of that committee would be the Finance Committee. And it's the same members. Are you willing to serve on that? Okay. Yeah, Dave?
Oh, which?
The audit, well, I'm on the Finance Committee now.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're doing finance.
Yeah. And I'll publish a list on this so you'll have it for your records. The next committee is the Education and Workforce Committee. The chairman of that committee, I'm suggesting, is Art Murillo. The members of that committee is Mike Stoma and Linda Good. Are the three of you willing to serve on that committee? Thank you so much. Linda? Mm-hmm. Okay. Art? Okay. The Board and Chancellor Evaluation Committee. I'm asking David Vogt to be the chairman, Mike Sullivan to be a member, and yours truly, Alton Smith. Do you guys wish to serve on that committee? I do. Dave?
I didn't know we had a choice when you told me that.
Well, now you don't have a choice. You've agreed to all three. So, all right. Those are the committees, and thank you for your cooperation. But you really don't have a choice.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Because one of the 9 of us have to serve on at least 1 or 2. All right. Thank you so much. At this point in time, we need to move to the consent agenda. And on the consent agenda, we have 21 items. And I know you've had the opportunity to read those particular items and ask contact persons that are listed on each one of those questions if you had questions. But are there any item that you would like to have considered separately?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Number 9, please.
Number 9? Okay. Any other items that you would like to have considered separately? Hearing none, I would like to have a motion to adopt items 1 through 8, 10 through 21. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve those items. All those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay, item 9.
Mr.
Or
Chairman?
you have a question, go ahead with your
Yeah.
question on item 9, please.
Yeah, my only question, I just wanted some clarity. Jennifer, or who do I direct my question to?
The CFO.
Yeah.
You might want to basically, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make a motion first?
Oh,
You want to
okay.
consider this separately?
So why don't you make a motion?
Yeah,
Because I make a motion to
okay.
approve it, then
Yeah.
discuss it.
Okay. Well, I'll make the motion to consider item number 9, which is approve resolution adopting a 20% penalty on delinquent taxes. Are there seconds? Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, no, my only, I've only wanted some clarification. I know that we approved back in October, I think, this sort of arrangement, my only concern is sometimes we lose the ability to stop it or to make a decision instead of the law firm. In this case, is it an automatic thing, or do we, you have the opportunity to say no or yes, in case there's a question about when the 20% that is added to the delinquent?
It is added to all delinquent accounts.
Okay, so that's basically, it's equal across the board. Everybody gets the 20% delinquent if they missed whatever deadline that is?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, across the board.
So it's across the board. That's basically what I wanted to see. So it's not pick and choose or anything like that.
So they pay 20% above whatever the tax bill is.
Yeah, it's a 20% penalty,
Right.
yes.
If they're turned over to collections, right?
Right.
So, and there's plenty of warning over that.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's my question. So they get a warning before the 20%?
Yeah, they would get, yeah,
I mean, a lot of this is handled first by the tax office
Right.
that initially collects on the tax bills.
Okay.
And then once it becomes delinquent, it gets handed over. In our case, we just signed a new contract with Linebarger
Right.
to do that delinquent collection.
if you want to know,
I was going to jump in.
yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say,
please.
Mike can tell you how Harris County,
Right.
Well,
Harris County collects the Harris County taxes for Lone Star, but not Montgomery County.
Right.
So tax bills are due January 31st. They become delinquent February 1st, but they become Linebarger's collection July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. And at that point, the 20% is Linebarger's fee for collection. We do not get the 20%, nor does
No,
any
I
other
understand.
jurisdiction.
I understand.
Well,
So, yeah.
it's important to know how Linebarger gets paid, I think.
No, I know.
And that's how they get paid.
Sure. There's been issues in the past night, and I'm not saying that Linebarger or in this particular instance, but where the public entity has no control over, like, if there was a mistake or anything, I mean, in this
So,
case,
you mean
it doesn't
if somebody
become.
called us after they've been turned
Yeah.
over to Linebarger, I don't think we interfere with that at all.
No, we don't.
Not to my,
handle
not
that
since I've
at
been
all.
here.
I mean, it's pretty clear. I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's just, once you miss the deadline on this date, that's when the 20% goes on. And that's it, right?
Yeah. Now, you can go into, there is an exception, a property owner can request a payment plan.
Okay.
And they can then pay out their tax obligations.
Okay.
And not be levied the extra 20%?
As I understand, I could be wrong, but that's what I recall. It's very consumer friendly, if you will, and that's the whole purpose of it.
If you want us to follow up on Harrison, Montgomery County, we can, if you want to.
No, I just want to know that, that it doesn't, I used to, some of you, I'm sure, have been in homeowners associations, and all of a sudden the legal fees get out
Sure.
of control, and then you can't even pay that, your payment. So that's the only thing I'm thinking about.
I'm
that
not
it doesn't-
aware, since I've been the chancellor, we just don't, I'm looking at you, I don't think we've had any legal issues or anybody request that. Not to my knowledge, it's not come to me. We wouldn't handle that anyway, like that. That wouldn't be.
It looks like the discretion, it's not the law firm doesn't have all this discretion to do whatever they want. It's basically just a 20% add-on, that's it. I'm okay with it.
Collection fee, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions on item 9? All those in favor of item 9, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The item passed. Thank you. You're up. CFO's up again.
Did they vote on all the other items? They did?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, we did item, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hold up just a second. Yeah, we voted on it.
Okay.
Everything's been voted on, yeah. Yeah, that was the last one. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good evening. If you can, in your board packets, go to, it is the next to the last tab for the financial report.
Board, we were talking earlier, I think in the future, we're going to try to put it up on the screen on the financial report so that you can follow the, but it's the next to the last tab. It's toward the end on the finances.
Yeah, just
That's what I'm understanding is
Yeah,
there's
go
no
to the
page
end and then back up.
I don't think there's a page number.
Okay, you go to page 108.
It's what it,
It's 108.
108?
108, then you
Okay.
back
4
up.
to 108.
Then you back up, and then you get to the
4.
financial.
84, right? 84.
84, got it. Okay. I'm looking at a different screen than they are, so go ahead.
Okay, and this is presenting the financial statements for the months ending December 31st, 2018 and November 30th, 2018, and the quarterly investment report for the period ending November 30th, 2018. I'm going to just run through the latest financial statements, which are the ones ending December 31st, 2018. And really where I want to jump to is if you can go 2 pages, which is the statement of revenues and expenditures. So on that page, that's where you can see the first column is the budget as adopted by this board. And then the second column is our forecasted variance.
That's page 85, board book,
85?
in a board book.
Hold on just a second. Let me make sure everybody's there if they want to be there.
85.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably this one.
Okay. So just a reminder, in August, when the board adopted the budget, the goal of that budget was to end the year at a 17% cash reserve. Last month, in December, we had forecasted ending the year at 17.4%. Here this month, we are forecasting to end the year at 17.8%, is the positive net change in our forecast. We do have several things going on in here. In the revenues, I guess on the negative side, we do have tuition and fees forecasted at a negative variance of $4.1 million. There is several things in there, but you can see a portion of that is offset by some positive variances in other revenues. And then also some of those tuition and fees is also offset by expenditure variances. For example, in the fall, when we had enrollment growth below 0%, we had all of the colleges and the vice chancellor offices do budget cuts to exactly offset that. So portions of that is offset in the expenditure. So the net effect of everything currently in this forecasted variance is a positive effect of ending the year at 17.8%. And as you know, I do update this every month just as we see new information. So that's where we stand as of now. And then if you could flip 2 more pages, which I think puts you on page 86.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Okay. This is the Harvey Recovery Fund 35 report. I just want to note here, so far to date, well, as of December 31st, 2018, we have spent $25.4 million. That's the actual cash out the door on that. But I will note, very positive news, we actually have collected a little bit of money from FEMA. $4,000, $948.80.
Did you deposit?
I want to see that listed on here, with FEMA in capital letters.
Would you tell them what that
Proof
was?
for the future.
Several of them asked what the 45, whatever the number
Yeah,
was.
really, how
for,
do they decide that?
So that is for the North Harris retention pond, for damage that occurred to that pond during Harvey.
Wow.
I'm going to take the small wins. So we are learning that there is a different process, different set of people who have authority to sign off on some of our project worksheets that are below a certain dollar threshold. So we might be targeting some of these lower dollar threshold ones first, just because there is a little bit of a faster process on those, while we continue to work on the large ones. But it's better than, so for up until now, my report has been 0. So we've collected about $5,000 so far. And then they changed our project manager now. Our third one in 18 months. And then, yeah, so that concludes my financial report. If I could just jump real quickly to the building and grounds report there, the main thing I want to note, again, is Kingwood reopen. It was very exciting to be out there the first day of the semester to see all the students there and also see everyone still trying to complete the last items. And I want to mention there that the library is still scheduled for its substantial completion date, March 19th. So great progress there. Still some more to do to mention that. But yes, as already mentioned, next Friday is the reopening celebration. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
And one comment, the construction report is well presented and easy to understand in seconds. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And I wish Amanda on my team is who puts that report together along with Denise, and unfortunately neither one of them are here tonight.
Okay.
So maybe next month we can thank them.
I'll send them. What's Denise's last name?
Noe.
Well, we'll send you a note.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Huh? What I do is tell the board, make sure that they read over them. See if I can find my notes. Okay, board members, and this is basically for the new board members. There were, in the board book, were 4 new policies that were up for the first reading. And I suggest, that if you haven't had an opportunity to read those new policies, read over the policies and give the contact individuals questions if you have questions on any of them, so they can get the necessary feedback they need before the policies are implemented, typically at the 3rd reading. For adopted, okay.
So we would have 2 readings before they're approved. And if we make any changes, depending on the changes, that could be extended. Substantial changes. Sometimes they're minor ones that we go ahead with.
Okay. Any future agenda items, board members? I have 2. Trustee Good, if you have an opportunity over the next month, I remember 5 or 6 years ago, you were instrumental in in setting up a board endowment. And could you bring us up to date at the next meeting on where that endowment stands and explain to the new members exactly what we're trying to do with that endowment?
Sure.
And we try to do this on an annual basis so that we can generate enthusiasm so we can have another scholarship out there. So, so if you could do that next time, if you can't do it next time, as soon as possible would be
I'm
appreciated.
sure we can do it next time. Can't
yeah. The second item that I have is I hear talk all of the time about employee turnover and et cetera, not only at Lone Star but other colleges and et cetera. And I always measure success based on how you compare with your peers. And if we have data, and I'm sure we do, on reasons and the numbers of folks that leave Lone Star by job categories, would appreciate getting that in the next month or so. And along with that data, how we compare with people that we feel, or colleges that we feel we compete with. Whatever that definition is. I can think of like Alamo, Dallas, Houston, et cetera, as our competitors. Third future agenda item. I guess I'm going on and I'm going longer than I thought I would go. We also need to take a look at how we stand as far as diversifying our staff. We've made commitments, to make certain things happen as far as staff diversification. And we hope to get a report on that and where we stand and what our plans are.
Staff and faculty.
Staff and faculty, So, and my timeline would be next board meeting or the following one, if it can be done with a reasonable amount of effort.
Okay.
Any other agenda items? Since we have now consumed the entire agenda, I declare this meeting adjourned.